What's up, guys? It's your boy Ron, and you're watching or listening to the Ron Show, The Game Changer. So, today is going to be a little interesting show, and today I'm going to be talking about a touchy subject, but in a way that will be interesting, but also in another way, kind of curious in a way. So today's subject is going to be um, the work environment. And you might be asking yourself, what do you mean by the work environment? Here's what I mean. The work environment for people with special needs, like myself, and I mentioned this numerous of times, have have an interesting history to it. Um, not a lot of people get not a lot of people in the special needs community who have different learning disabilities get credit for getting these job opportunities. Um, and I feel like um, we, including myself, we should be known and get respected to get these job opportunities. And I'm not saying that all job opportunities that we get, they'll deny us and all that stuff. But when some companies that see a person like myself, the first thing that pops up into their head or that they proceed to us is, oh, maybe he should work in retail. Oh, maybe he should do um, clerk stuff. Now, here is one thing that I think about it, which is a good thing and which is a bad thing. I'll go to the bad stuff first. Or not bad stuff, but the part where I get really frustrated, which to me it kind of pisses me off. And maybe for you, if you're listening and who thinks it's good or bad, you could agree with me or disagree with me. But this is generally the way I think about it. The way I genuinely think about this, for people who think, oh, we should put your own into a place like, and I'm just pulling this out, a place like Home Depot, supermarket. I don't know. Um, and no, I'm not blaming those places like I did for an examples. I'm not blaming any one of them. I was just using Home Depot as an example. That's not one of them. But I'm using the way that they would precede us. I'm not so sure. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, Now, the good part is that when people look at a person like myself or like someone else who does have that special need or learning disability, structure of learning and working in an environment like, I don't know, then there's a way. So we all know the quote, when there's a will, there's a way. And when job opportunities like that, they give you what you want to do, they'll give it to you because they have so much interest that they're like, holy shit, this person really wants to work for us. You know what? Let's give him a shot. We'll give him an easy job opportunity. And if he comes up to us, we'll give him what he wants. And that's what I like about people that see people like myself who pursue to go to these companies or job opportunities and say, listen, what do you want to like? You know, because for us, it's hard. You know, to get into this world of work. It's really important to us that right after high school or right after college or program, you go into the work environment and you start working. You because the thing is, you work, and you develop the work mentality, and then you tell yourself, "Oh wow, I didn't even learn about this." You know what? You learn something new every day. Um, like myself, right now, I work at a Jewish community center, and every single day, and I probably mentioned this on the show a couple of times, but I go to this program called Program Without Walls. Now, I'm not so sure if this is directly to the one that I go to, because maybe there is multiple of Program Without Walls out there all over the world, or maybe just in the States. But what does it mean? So it means that there's no listen. I don't know what it in like. I don't know what's in like the word program without walls means, but what I'm assuming, and I'll probably search it up in less than 2 seconds, but I'm assuming what it means is that um is that it probably means that there's no labeling in what you are. So it's kind of like, I never thought about that, but to me it's like no matter who you are, you should be getting opportunities to work in this environment. And you know, I mean, oh, here we go. So there's like numerous of ones as I'm recording this, um, and there's one that's called Practice Without Walls, which I'm not so sure, but maybe I didn't correct that. Um, I'm going to try your work environment. Um, environment. The thing is, okay, yeah, I'm going to be very lazy, but the way that I picture this word is that, or not picture this word, but the way that I see this word and these three letters is that no matter what you have or was born with, there's no reason why you should be getting an opportunity to work in an environment like this. So, even if I was born with cerebral palsy and have learning disabilities and all that stuff, doesn't mean that I should be working in an environment like a job in the city, which I actually did, but I'm not going to say the name of the company, just because I don't want to be in big trouble. Um, but if one of them is, I doubt that they would be listening to this, but if one of them are actually listening to this, I'm going to be impressed. Um, but yeah, I mean, listen, you know, places like those where I recently worked and where I'm currently right now, it's interesting because I see that as okay, there's an opportunity. I like this opportunity. I'm willing to work and bust my ass to learn and actually learn of who I am and why I'm in this place or program. And do I see a good or bad thing? Not really. I'll tell you something. It's like what any ordinary person who goes to a job, pursues their dreams, or not even dreams, but doing their job and, getting paid to bring back to the community and all that stuff. Let me tell you something. Being in this program is interesting. Being in PWW in my local, like JCC, it's interesting because you know what? For me, it's like when when I was there 5 years ago, not at this particular program because I looked at it from far, but it was a different program prior to the program that it was. Um, and it was called VTech at the time, but now it's combined. So it's a complicated story. But I looked at that from a far distance and I said, that's interesting. But it wasn't for me at the time. It wasn't like, oh, that your one's gonna be in that program. Because at the time it wasn't COVID. It was like literally, oh well, it's just another program. No worries. It's not for him. Now, here I am 5 years later, and COVID goes on. But there's a thing. Well, the program that I was in is now combined with the program without walls. So, I think to myself, because meanwhile, my job that took me in the city is not happening anymore. And I don't think they're ever going to get back to me. And I'm telling you a mini story. So, I talk about it with my parents, and I ask myself, with my mom, should I go back? Or should I go to this other place where they're making a new program with like different places in it, but now they have this farm place. And me and my mom, we talk about two of these programs: the program without walls and this place that has numerous of studios and things that you could think about that pops up in creativity and all that stuff. So there's these two programs. I think to myself, which one should I pick? Should I pick the one that has a built-in studio with everything that I dreamt of and I really wanted to go there? Or should I pick the one that I'm used to? So me and my mom, we spoke about it, and also my dad, and we get a call back from that program, um, and with the one with the farms and all that stuff. I'm not gonna mention you its name, but we get a call back from them, and they tell me, "Hi, Aaron. We just wanted to let you know that you know, thank you for being interested and this and that," because they got back out my message from me and my mom. And they said, you know, we know that you're interested in the studio and this and that, but now we have only the farm section and I don't know. It was like some ridiculous thing that this person said in that program. Not the one that I'm in now, but the one that just recently called me and said, yeah, but. And so she said, if you want to work there in our farms, you're more than likely, and this and that. A couple of days later, me and my mom, we still talk about it. I just said, you know what? Part of my language, but this is what I actually said, and it was actually true. I said, fuck it. I want to go back to the place where I started. Everyone knows my name. Program without walls. I'm playing poker. All chips, all in. That's what I'm doing. All chips, all in. And by the time that I was all in, the waiting process started to start. And you know what? It started to be a long one. Um, And like I said in episode 1, and I believe I said it in a couple of episodes, I don't remember which episode I said it, but, you know, some of the services take a long time depending on what service you get from each organization or whatever it's called. I don't know. With the brokers and the all those people that try to help you and pursue the working and all that stuff. So here I am sitting months after months after months after months after months. It's probably like a year or so um, after they are really helping me with what I need to get this paperwork done. So that way I get inside this program, which is at my local JCC, which I'm used to for numerous of years because I worked there, but they just needed me, they needed to fill out the paperwork so that way I could go back and be a part of that program. So now here I am, waiting and waiting, waiting. May 9th, or I believe it was like May 5th, something like that. May 6th, May 6th, 5th, something like that. I don't know. I get a call, and here I am. I'm sick with COVID. And my mom gets this new news. Now, she tells me, "You're going back to work." To me, I was like, is this a joke? Like, you're probably just gonna be getting me pumped up and all that stuff. And she was like, no, you're really going back to work. To me, that was like, wow. Thank the F God. And like, I was kind of like, thank you, like, I'm just like yelling and screaming and swearing and all that stuff because it's really emotional to me that it took so long. But at the same time, even though I dwelled on it and all of that stuff on why it took so long, I was like, you know what? It's good to be back. So I go in and this and that. Fast forward, I knew everyone. I had to introduce a couple I had to introduce a couple of people to myself since they didn't know me as well. And now here I am. I know everyone. I know everything. I know what codes, this, that, you name it. I'm good at it. Like, just because here's the thing. When I go to my local JCC, it's like being at home. And, I just literally feel like I'm at home. And one of the reasons why is because, first of all, I feel like I'm with my family. Now, if you don't know, like, Mimi, like, if you don't know who I am, and I might have not said this, but some of my family members, my cousins, my grandma, my grandpa, everyone's in Israel, even my aunts, everyone. So for me, it's like, when I don't see them, at least I have people, which I'm actually going to work. Now, they're not my family. I'm not saying, okay, they're my family, but at least I'm part of the Jewish Community Organization, or JCC, and it feels like home. Like just to see the Hebrew alphabet and the letters and the community, the kehillah, it just feels good. There's a saying in Hebrew where I say it every now and then. זה הרגשה טובה. It's a good feeling to be back. And I don't regret it because it really does feel good to be back. Now that I'm done telling this so-called long story, what I'm trying to say is that, and I don't know if I went off topic, but there there is some good and there's some bad. So to me, whenever you think about working in an environment that actually gives gives I'm sorry that I'm saying these curse words I'm sorry that I'm using foul language so much today, but to the fact that people who give a shit about people like myself and say, wow, that person has a gift, that's who we want. Like, where we're gonna give him something and let's see what he'll do. Now here I am, I'm on fire every single day. I get assigned to every single staff member. I work with them. Right after 12:30, I go meditate, or is it 11? Yeah, I think it's like 11:30ish. I go to meditate 11:30. Bring out my phone a little bit, search up on Instagram a little bit, something that nothing much, maybe a little bit of Twitter. By the way, just follow me and do whatever you want. But yeah, even like Spotify or just looking at YouTube videos or something like that, while meditating, all that stuff. Go back to work for maybe 45 minutes, maybe close to an hour, 45 minutes. I'm not so sure. I'm not good at math, but you get what I'm saying. From there, like I could tell you the whole entire day, and like maybe it would take me probably hours and hours and hours until I finish this episode. But I really, really, really want to get this episode at least maybe 45 to maybe 50 minutes. But yeah, go back to work, eat my lunch, then go for a walk around the building. Go back, do some meditation, learn about life, which is simple stuff that a normal person is doing in a day in, day out experience. And that's it. I go back home. Some days I might stay for a little program that's not affiliated with the program itself, but it's within the city. Not the city. The JCC, which provides special needs programs. And yeah, yeah. Um, let me tell you this. I'm I'm just I'm so happy to be in that position. And for those who also are experiencing this, I wish you good luck wherever you're working at, whatever program you are going through. Um, don't be frustrated. If you need to swear and and all of these services are going slow, let it out. I get it, but try not to do it a lot. Try not to focus and to be like, oh, they're not doing anything. And all. That was me. I could tell you something. You could do that, but don't try to do it too much. I would do it maybe like 10 times, which is bad. But it was out of respect. Um, Now here I am every single day, Monday through Friday, consistently. I have a day-to-day schedule every single day from 9:30 to 2:30. I'm at that place and then I go back home. Only on one day I go and I stay there from 9:30 a.m. to maybe 6 p.m. That's my day on Tuesdays. But overall, that's basically my day. I have probably 7 hour. I'm not good at math. To be honest with you, I'm not good at math. I genuinely don't know why. But yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that, you know, the the process is long, but you've got to have a side hustle of while these things are taking time and you are going to your program or you're taking that job opportunity that you really want to pursue. But just be aware that some job places will always have, they'll always, critique you and say maybe, oh, this person, like, you know, here's the thing. Some people, they don't know how to perceive with people with special needs or learning disabilities, which is absolutely the same thing. They don't. And to be honest, I think that there is, um, hold on a sec. Close the door. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that half of the times that you okay, yeah, okay, I think I'm back. But half of the times when you think to yourself, okay, why didn't they get me? Or why do they think about me this way? Because some people are. This is where I really get caught because I have to be careful with my words. But I'm so sorry if I'm saying it and if you are listening. If someone who is listening, who is in the professional workplace or work environment, please take this out of all due respect. I'm really really sorry. But sometimes those people, and I'm so sorry that I'm saying this, but they could think about us and say, like, we don't want to take him. Like, we don't know how to, like, they don't know how to perceive us. So there's some people that that will look at me, pretend that I wasn't working at this program right now, and I went up and you know okay. I'll tell you another story. Right after I was finished with high school, I decided to take this test. So my school sent me to this place called um, Henry Viscardi Center. And I went there maybe like 4 days, 5 days to take this test. This test was to tell me how my skills are in the work environment and all that stuff. The results came out probably like weeks after I took, you know, right after I took the test, and I really really don't want to swear, even though I said the place's name. If you're a person that works there, please try to understand that I'm saying this with all due respect. But when the results came out and I went to the person that was in charge of this test, whatever, she told me, and I quote, and I'll never forget this because I got really angry and I got pissed and I swear a lot and I don't want to say this on the show right now. But she clearly told me in front of me and my mom that I would be better off at working at a place like Home Depot or a retail store that involves pushing carts or something like that. And from that point on, I was, in my opinion, I knew that, you know what, my life is over. Like, it hit me to the point where it was like, I'm sick to my stomach because this is how society thinks about me. And it still hurts me to kind of like even think about it and to even um to even say or even tell this story, because the fact of the matter is that whenever I see a person that has high hopes of working in a work environment, whether it's, you know, doing real estate or uh, I don't know, I'm pulling out things out of my, you know, excuse, uh, uh, out of my tail. I, I'm I'm just not gonna use foul language right now. I'm not, but you know what I mean. Um, Society just basically thinks that um, some people like myself should be working in those places, and I knew at that point that maybe I'm not like anyone else. Maybe I don't see myself working in a big place. Like, you know, that's how I felt like. And when I knew, when I heard that from that person at this place called Henry Riscardi Center, and like I said before, I don't want to say anything mean to them, but when that person told me that I was better off working at a place like Office Depot or somewhere else, I went back home and I sweared every single word that you could think about in the alphabet, like in the alphabet letter, from A to Z, and even in Hebrew, from the first letter in Hebrew until the last one. And I was here in my room, I was talking to myself, and I burst into flames. I was basically like the Incredible Hulk, but that didn't stop me. I knew that I had my parents, my brothers as a backup. And I remember my older brother told me this. He told me, and this was years ago, he told me that if I wouldn't go to work at the JCC where I live, well, like my local JCC, he told me if you're not going to work at that local JCC, like, he's not going to even bother. He wouldn't even talk to me. So I made the decision, and then I was like, you know what? A couple of days right after I was done with my program at high school, I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna work at that local JCC. And from there, the first couple of days, you know, like you're working in a work environment, it was kind of like, something's not right, this and that. But that's just like how you get used to it because you're working in a work environment. But then, you know, little by little, everyone started to know me, and it was like, you know what? I like it here. And I was getting paid there as an intern because, think about it. It was, at the time, this program was called VTech at my local JCC. Um, and I had so much fun. I worked and this and that. You know what? Let me tell you something. There would be some days where it wasn't the best days, but I did it. If I told you that was if there was one day that I ever had a bad day and ever, caused a scene or anything, that maybe once, but out of all the time that I was at that other, program, which now it's combined in with Program Without Walls, I enjoyed it because I knew that I was at home. And next thing you know, I worked and worked and worked and worked. And right after my last year, me and my mom, we searched for other jobs. And my mom found me a job from her school, someone that she knew. And luckily, from that person, she, he connected me with, with the company that he kind of works at. Um, you know, the company that he worked at was called Fat Cap. And let me tell you this, that place was amazing. Some days I would just go into the city, headphones on, every single day, just walking down every single street from 34th, or not 34th, was it? No, it was 34th, probably like 5 blocks. And I remember walking there every single day, on and on and on, like constantly. And I was happy, all that stuff. Then COVID hit, and of course, basically right after COVID, that's when I dealt with that's when the world went in chaos. We already know what happened. We already know what happened, because of course, it took like a couple of years, but yeah. Um, but yeah, um, the beginning of that story of what I just told you right now, it was true, and it hurt. And I just want to shout anyone out who works at that place, um, Viscardi Center, Henry Viscardi Center. I'm sorry. Um, I am sorry that I'm saying this right now, but to me, listen, I'm just gonna keep this clean, but to me, I didn't find the test helpful, and whoever works there, I I 100%, um, I 100% um, thank you. But that's my genuine, honest opinion. Um, and that's how I think about it, because I didn't really quite enjoy it. But when you look at me right now, and even where I worked in the city, at that place, I enjoyed every single bit. I couldn't be happy where I am back then, 5 years ago, working at the JCC, in my local JCC, to working in the city. From there, waiting a while, and then from there again waiting a while, and then coming back literally last month. So, listen, if you're thinking about ever kind of being in that, if you're, let me just be very, very clear. If you're ever in a position where you feel like that and you're going through it right now, you're not alone because I was there before. Um, and if you are a person who is like myself and has this same experience that took this test, I'm assuming there's numerous of places and numerous of, yeah, I'm assuming there's like numerous of places that would take tests and they would tell you the same exact thing. But listen, that's how it is. That's how it is. And am I proud that I went to this place? No, but you know what? I had to. I wasn't gonna dwell. Listen, I dwelled a little bit, but I knew that I had to do it because if I weren't to go to this place and to do it, and it was part of the school that made me do it, then I wouldn't be here with amazing people that hooked me up with different places, including my family, because, I always need that boost for a person to tell me that if I don't do something, I'm gonna fuck, like, that then I'll fuck up or something like that. And that's what happened. Being genuinely honest. I'm sitting here today and I couldn't be more thankful. And for those of you who are listening, who are going through the same thing, I really, really want to tell you that try your best, market yourself, prove those people who think, oh, this person he has learning disabilities or he has special needs or whatever. I don't really care. Prove the doubters and the haters wrong, because at the end of the day, the normies, as I like to quote unquote call them, they're wrong. They like to think of them. Think about this. The normies think of themselves as the first class who have the high top grounds and they're in the Titanic and they're sipping on champagne and they're doing all those fun stuff, while the people who have special needs and learning disabilities are down here in sitting in McDonald's and Burger King getting their Big Macs and $1 burgers. I'm telling you, today we're making history. I could tell you something. A couple of years ago, Governor Cuomo signed some petition about, I don't know what it was, disabilities or something like that. Listen, did that thing ever change? Not really, but we're still making history. Every single day, the special needs community and the learning disabilities community, the spectrum of autism, you name it, we're making history. Like in this work environment, we're fucking making history. I'm sorry that I'm swearing on my own show, but I always do this. If you're a first time listener, every single one of my episodes is it's labeled with the word expletive or whatever it's called. It starts with the letter E. But it comes down to this. All of those normie people, the normal people, who don't have learning disabilities or, you know, different spectrums or, you know, um, born with an actual disability or special needs, whatever you call it. We're getting there. So even though other people do not see us as up here, we're still up here, but you don't know it. You don't know it. Everyone else who thinks that way knows it. Or no, what am I saying? I think I'm saying it wrong. But everyone else who thinks the opposite of those people who are in the Titanic and think, oh, well, those people, they're wrong. We all know what happened in the Titanic. It started floating down. Those two couple they sat in the iceberg with the last words, and next thing you know, Jack fell down into the thing, and the girlfriend from Titanic, you know, like, isn't it obvious? Like, no offense, whoever's up here and thinks that way about us, I don't know what to tell you. We're winning. We're making history. There's even documentaries on Netflix. I could name you numerous of ones. There's one called Cripple Camp. There is one about the Paralympics. We're getting there. We're getting there. So if you think like the normies and all those people out there who are like, you're better off in Home Depot, Office Depot, supermarkets, Whole Foods, all those stuff. I'm sorry to tell you, but you might as well go to the Titanic and fall down, because then you'll learn. But if you are a person like myself, or who know people like myself, and say, that's a person who has high potential in working in an environment with people with special needs and learning disabilities, or has cerebral palsy like myself and autism, well, when there's a will, there's a way. So at the end of the day, we're going to be the winners. I'll tell you something. I know I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of people with, I'll never forget it, but I saw one person who wanted to have his own restaurant. The guy had autism, and he had his own restaurant. Everyone was coming in. I think it was like a diner or something like that. You had a full Pacific diner. My God. I don't know if he's still open, but my God, if there's another person who's just like him, I'll be goddamn. I'll be one of your first customers. I'll give you $100 bill, and you'll put it. I bet you want to put it on your wall over there. Because I'm giving you credit of what it's due. You got a gift. So for those of you who think, oh, he wants to market himself because he wants to be like us, but he's not. But work in Office Depot or Whole Foods or some of those places, go look. Here's what I would tell you. If there's a boat, please go on that boat. And I'm not telling you go to the Titanic. First of all, I'm being too harsh. I'm sorry about what I said before. But if there's a boat, or if something If you have a day where you have karma, just think to yourself, wow, maybe I was too harsh on that person. Maybe I should have said that because he has high potential in what he has. I should have looked at his resume and said, wow, even though this person was born with cerebral palsy and learning disabilities, god damn it, I need that guy in my team. That's what you need to be like. But if you want to be like that other person who is like, you know what? Office Depot, Whole Foods, making bars, working in a farm. I'm sorry to tell you. But, yeah. I would say Titanic. But I'll tell you something. If it's a program that provides working for different departments and having a day-to-day consistent routine, like a place like I go to, then you're in good hands. You know why? Because those people actually give a shit, and I'm saying these words with all due respect. I'm sorry that I'm saying this, but they give a shit of who I am as an individual, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be that individual that busts his ass 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day. I'm proud of the fact that I have this long ass schedule from 9 to 5, and I'm doing physical therapy. I'm going to programs. I'm being active. Every day my mom is so surprised of how I keep up my schedule. I haven't ever seen my mom been so happy like this since the time that I worked at the city or worked at my local JCC back 5 years ago. But she's proud. And to me, it's like, yeah, I get him off. But at the same time, it really matters to her that I'm happy and I know that I'm in good hands. And I know that I have an awesome family that provides and understands my disability. And I applaud for anyone who is going through the same thing. And if you're ever frustrated or feel alone, let it out. Heck, you know what? I'm gonna bring up something that I've never bring up before. But if you are feeling the same way that I felt, and you wanna let it all out, please come to the show. And I really mean it. Please come on the show. I'll bring you up. I don't care. You could swear, you could, but you got to keep it a little bit PG. So you could still swear, but use your respect of your peers, the place that you work, and all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, you got to be thankful for who you are, thankful for your coworkers and all that stuff. Because I don't want, a guest on the show to be like, that place sucks. This, being so criticizing. Because at the end of the day, these are who people are, no matter who they think of who we are. They also deserve respect. Because at the end of the day, they're doing their jobs. But there are some people who just think one way, and some people think the other way. So, if you really want to come on the show, and I'm saying this with all due respect, please come on the show, keep it PG. If you want to swear so much that you need to let it out, swear as much as you want, but keep it PG. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, guys, I've been recording this show for a long time, and if you're probably listening, you're probably like, why was half of the show muted? Or why was your own, and if you're watching this, why was your own online searching up different things? Half of the answers I didn't know. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed listening to the show. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment if you're watching. If you're listening on Spotify, follow me on the show on Spotify. Both of the shows of the Your Own Show, Nick's Take, and The Game Changer are combined on one channel, or whatever you call it, one show on Spotify. So, yeah. Also, make sure to ring that notification bell also on Spotify, which I didn't know that until now. So if you really want to get consistent episodes of the Your Own Show, there will be a consistent notification every single time that I'll go on. Even though if you don't really care about basketball, it's also good to keep it on just in case if there's the Game Changer. So, but yeah, as well as for YouTube, if you go on YouTube and you just want to follow the Game Changer, go on the YouTube playlist on my channel and just click on the bell or the playlist itself. It will give you. It's going to give you. It's going to keep you notified, and I believe that you could also put some notifications, though. Every single time it will tell you when I'm going to have a new episode, like today. So yeah. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed listening or watching to today's show. And yeah. Also, make sure to share it on YouTube and also spread it out on Spotify. And yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed listening on your morning, your night, your lunch hour, your drive, your flight to maybe Vegas or Greece or wherever you're traveling. I really don't care. I hope you enjoy your summer. It's already summer, so live it, love it, and just be happy. Just have a happy summer, man. Wherever you are. Whether you're in the beach, also, all of those places. Places that I mentioned maybe numerous of times that I'm ending the show right now. But, yeah. I want to say this again. Well, I can't believe it, I'm saying this again. But, whether you're at the beach, whether you're at your bed, whether it's morning, night, daytime, whether you're doing I don't know, whether you're at school, learning about a passion or something like that, taking the drive back home, driving to work, maybe taking a flight to God know where. I don't know where you're traveling, but if you're traveling in a good place, yeah, let me know in the comments down below on YouTube. Traveling anywhere. That's really about it. I don't know what to tell you guys. That's it. I'm out. Anyways, guys, peace.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Ro. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And also, make sure to check out some of my other videos. Anyways, guys, peace.